followed it all summer long, Steve. It was Micah Parsons. What's going to be the new contract? What's happening with him and Jerry? Was it a handshake deal? Why won't he talk to his agent? Oh, whoa, 11th hour. He's going to Green Bay, baby. He's a Packer. And we saw Micah Parsons go out there and play 45% of the snaps and change the game.
Yeah, he did.
He caused the pick.
Yeah.
He had a sack. He made some changes.
Yeah, he did.
It looks, Steve, it's early. We go watch our episode on the Bills and the Ravens. It's week 1. You got to see what you do each and every week.
Yep.
But it looks like after 1 week, the Packers are the biggest threat to the Eagles in the NFC with the addition of Micah Parsons. Fact or fiction?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because is it a result of the Detroit Lions not being as good?
2 new coordinators. You would think that could be a slow start to things.
Yes. So is it because Detroit took a step back?
Possibly.
Right? And then it really depends also too. They had the offense has so many more opportunities that the Detroit Lions, led by the Detroit Lions and Michael Parsons leading the defense, giving the Detroit Lions so much more risk to get back in the game. For me, when I was watching the game, there was always I felt this sense that they were looking for that get back in the game play.
Detroit was.
Yes.
Okay.
Like they were trying to figure out how can we get better. It just wasn't happening. But Michael Parsons, his presence established, if you get behind on the sticks or off schedule, we will make you pay. Yeah. And I do believe the shocking part, I do believe the secondary is a little bit more improved and consistent with Jair Alexander no longer being part of that secondary. Yep. I love Jair. He's here from Charlotte. I got a long history with him in regards of he went to my football camp when he was a PAL, Police Academy League. Yeah, so he went to my football camp here in Charlotte. And this is a kid who I believe he could play. Jair Alexander and Marshawn Lattimore, I put those 2 guys in the same category. Heck of a football players. But which football player are you getting today?
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Micah Parsons they're challenging the Eagles. Let's see if they can win their division first.
True, which hasn't happened in a number of years, certainly. I'm going to stick to the defensive side of the ball, Steve. Like this was like a top 5 defense last year before Micah Parsons. They're 4th. I'm looking at it right now. They're 4th in turnovers, 6th in scoring, 5th in total defense, 7th against the run. They were 12th on 3rd down, and you got to assume that's going even in the upward direction with the addition of Micah Parsons rushing the opposite of Rashawn Gary. They're gonna just bring 4. It's not complicated. They just play really fast, right? They own the middle of the field. They rush 4. Now you got Rashawn Gary and you have Micah Parsons.
But here's the thing: their 4 are a little bit different than some of the other 4.
100%.
Right? Not everybody has the luxury to rush 4 and get pressure.
That's the ultimate luxury, right?
Right.
I mean,
like there's coordinators who have gotten other coordinating jobs because of what they had on their roster rushing 4, and all of a sudden they don't have that now, and they haven't figured out they don't have those players anymore.
Sorry, coach, I gotta bring 5. I gotta bring 6 to generate what I was
7.
doing over there with 4.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think the interesting part that stands out to me, and then I got a Micah question for you, is you got to know how to coach Micah. Like, I have heard this around the league. Dan Quinn was outstanding at it.
Dan Quinn is outstanding coach overall.
Period.
And he gets it. Dan Quinn is different.
Very much so. Like, the lengths that he went to, I was told, to connect with Micah to figure out ways to use such a unique player, such a creative player, a guy that can play off ball, a guy that can rush the passer, up the middle, over the center, outside, do so many things for you, you better make sure you have a plan for how you're going to coach that and how you're going to work with it. I remember getting a text early in the season last year from somebody in Dallas going, man, we missed DQ. I knew it was directly tied to we're not getting as much out of Micah as Dan Quinn did. And so I'm curious to see how they work with Micah and getting everything out of him and have him be the type of player that we all know he can be because he's already on a Hall of Fame trajectory. What I loved after the game is that Micah Parsons said that he went to Penei Sewell, the star right tackle, one of the best in the game of Detroit, and he said that he is now his new rival. Mm-hmm. It's not Lane Johnson anymore. You're my new rival.
Yeah.
Do you remember that happening with you when you went to Baltimore? I just thought of this. Like, there's a new DB that is now my target that I gotta beat.
It became a team, right? So my rival became the whole secondary for the Cincinnati Bengals, if you remember. Right? That became a rival. That became when Cincinnati came to town, I went to Cincinnati. Hey, man.
Those were physical, man.
Hey, I needed 2 mouthpieces. Make sure. Hey, let's get right. Strap up.
Mm-hmm.
Both of my chin straps had to be, because there's some games and there's some teams, man, I only went with one. Like, man, these dudes ain't hit.
You're just, before the snap, you're like making sure everything's just.
Hey, I'm over here.
I'll make sure this is all tight.
I'm checking like the police just pulled me over. Hey, man, hey, nobody move. No, don't move. I'm over here.
But that's the cool part, I think, of him embracing this. Like, this is now where I'm at. This is the teams that I got to go against. These are the best of the best. I want to beat the best. And then the adverse side to where we think this is a good defense is everybody's waiting for Jordan Love to take that step, right? When he plays at his best and he's healthy, is he a top 10 quarterback? I mean, like, that's what everybody's waiting to see, because they do see the talent there. I think Matt LaFleur sees it.
Can I ask you, why are we so focused on putting people in the top 10 of the category? Wide receiver, DB, quarterback. Why can't we just say, man, he's a heck of a football player, and I would love to have him on my team?
I think, Steve, because we're obsessed with rankings. Check out our wide receiver rankings on 89 Show on YouTube.
The unique wide receiver rankings.
A big part of why we do that too, Steve, is, first I'll just say real quick, paid. I'm the best. I'm the second best. I'm the third. You want as much money as possible.
Yeah. I get
from
that.
where you're at. I get it. And so, but what my point is, they see so much potential in Jordan Love. My understanding is they've been doing this for a number of years, going, we could maybe win doing X, Y, and Z, because I think Matt LaFleur's a great offensive mind and a good coach.
Oh,
he's outstanding. And so he did, this is what I was told, like, we could just go about it like this and win some games. But my goal is to build him up to where I'm barely talking to him during the 2 minute. He knows this thing so inside and out that he's calling things to the line of scrimmage. I want to take him to these levels where I was at with Aaron, and I can find a way to take our offense. It may be some hiccups, but get us to a spot. And they feel like in this year 3 with him as a starter, they could be getting there. And to me, I look at the way this offense is run, and Steve, he's got a lot of mouths to feed. Like,
no, he doesn't.
Oh.
He doesn't have a lot of mouths to feed.
Explain. Is he going to your guy, the number 1 receiver that you had coming out?
Yeah. Golden.
Who was your top receiver on the board during our draft show, Steve?
Golden. Mm-hmm. Golden was my guy. And he showed some excellent things. Now, Reed, he's balling in the slot. Mm-hmm. But the community of receivers that they have is good for last year. They don't want to be good. They want to be better. They want to improve. So they had to find a wide receiver.
They wouldn't have drafted him, I guess you're right.
They had to find a wide receiver, one that can stay healthy, whose route tree is a little bit better than just running across the field all the time and outrunning the defender. I told you, I like Christian Watson. I just don't think he's a number 1 wide receiver because of lack of durability. I'm not questioning can he play. He can play. He was drafted. And I said he can play. But just because you're drafted, just because you can make a few splash plays, availability is what we look for. Don't tell me, well, if he was healthy. Well, he ain't healthy. Yeah, I said that. Ain't healthy. That's what we going off of.
Yeah. You know who I think who I'm hearing is a really good, who could be that guy that takes a huge jump to play alongside Matthew Golden? And tell me what this does to you as a number one receiver. It's Tucker Kraft. It's the tight end.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Tucker Kraft is.
So if everything I'm hearing about, like, this guy can become elite, this guy, I won't rank him. I'll just say this guy could become an outstanding football player.
He's on top 5.
What does that do if that's the, I mean, he already had
it brings another level to this offense that creates confusion and complications for the defensive coordinator to be able to run the schemes and hiding the type of different things that they like to do. You got to remember Chicago in this division, in the NFC North, Chicago, complicated defense. They throw a lot at you. They try to put everybody up and then drop out. You saw at times young J.J. McCarthy was confused because some of the things they were doing was confusing. Right?
I get confused when people do confusing shit.
Yeah, right. They had 7, 8 guys up, and they had, they had them twisting off to the left and coming this way, and then a nose tackle is dropping back to replace just to throw off the thought of a hot route thrown by the quarterback.
Yeah.
So Kraft becoming a legitimate weapon and a guy that you have to always keep account of automatically takes away 3 or 4 different things that you have to go on the game plan and say, well, can't do this.
Yeah. Got to stop the run. I mean, they have an outstanding, complex run game.
Got to stop the run.
Got to stop the tight end. And I just feel like as a rookie receiver, that just makes life a little bit easier for you and how you operate. I think it's going to be a good team, Steve.
I think so, too.
I think it's going to be a real good team.
And the Michael Parsons edition says, hey, we're giving up these draft picks because we feel like he can get us over the top. We don't need to draft any players. We got them already on this team. Right? Giving up those future draft picks is already saying that in the draft now, we have to draft some guys that can fill roles.
Yes.
And pay our big-time guys.
Yeah, they're paying them.
Because normally on a roster, 53, man, there's really about 10 guys who are getting that uber great money. You're just like, bro, how are they doing this? It's about 10 guys. And the rest, they get what's left over, and they have to decide, do I feel okay making this, being on this team, possibly winning, or I can make more on a different team, but that doesn't guarantee you be in the same position fighting for a playoff spot and potentially playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Why drafting is so important. And keeping that rookie contract group being contributors is massive when you're eating up more of the salary of some of those guys at the top. Steve, by the way, did you see and hear and feel when he got introduced as the last player
Parsons?
In Lambeau? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was dope.
Do you have one of those moments? It gave me. I was watching on TV, and I was like, oh, God.
My first 6, 7 weeks when I was doing broadcasting at the stadiums Thursday night, when guys would come out of the tunnel, I was like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to let it go, bro. Because running out of the tunnel, man, when I was running out of the tunnel, I ran out of the tunnel as a different dude.
Yeah. What's going through your head before,
man,
you know stuff, the name that's getting announced in front of you.
Crazy stuff. Crazy.
Like you know the name that's in front of you, right? And so you know you're next. What's that period of time from when that guy gets introduced? You hear his name.
No, so here's where it starts. So I'm actually getting goosebumps because I generally don't talk like this, but so the first guy goes, it's a lineman or something, somebody.
Yeah.
Then they go halfway. And then when it starts to get and the line starts to move
you're slowly creeping down the tunnel.
You're slowly keeping up. But then also for me, I would be in the back because I was the last. I'd be in the back. And I'm just foaming at the mouth. I'm having very, very bad thoughts about what I plan to do to the defender that has everything to do with mollywopping, okay? And as they move up, and when I come out of that tunnel, man, I am raging with curse words that I shouldn't have. And a lot of times I wore a visor.
Yeah.
And when you see me come out, and it's a release.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you get on the sideline, then I dull down, and then I get emotional because of the national anthem, and you have that moment of quietness, that calm before the storm, and then you go in the game, boom. And it just builds up. One time, funny story, C.J. Mosley gave me, so I never took supplements until my last 3 years in Baltimore.
Okay.
And I said, bro, what are you drinking? He goes, OG, you should have some of this. It was pre-workout. I have never taken pre-workout before in my life until that moment. I take pre-workout now before I'm doing my workouts. Bro, he gave me this pre-workout. He was like, you need a double. He gave me a double. That dude had me crying at the national anthem. I was so emotional. Bro, I said, what have you done? I was sitting there, I was crying. And then about first quarter, I had so much jitters. Everything in my stomach, poof, went in the trash can. I looked at him and said, bro, whatever that was, I'm never doing it again. And then Sis and Marciana is like, you don't need pre-workout, stupid. You are the pre-workout.
We know how you're wired.
Right? And that was the first time I took it. I started taking it. So when I started doing is I would take it at halftime because you come down so quickly and then you got to get back up. And my body was slow to get back up. I was like, man. So at halftime, I would sit on heating pads to get my quads and hamstrings right to keep them warm. So you don't run into the problem of pulling and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. Yep. C.J. Mosley, he got me.
He got me.
C.J. was like, oh, gee. I said, what was that? And then Kamar, he can go, yeah, bro. What was you thinking? And Tori, stupid. That's what he called me.
Because everybody knew you. Oh, man.